Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in this week. I know we've wrapped up for legislative session, and Hunter has been great about getting us information on things that happened this year in Annapolis. There were a few things that I thought might be helpful that may not have hit as many headlines, but for us in real estate, if you have if you are a property manager, if you own homes yourselves, or if you're just working with clients who own properties for rental investments, some of the legislation that passed this year, these will be helpful things for you to know. So I will read over those. There's really three that I thought might be helpful. So landlord and tenant notice of landlord entry. So all of these that I'm about to talk about are effective October 1st of this year. So a landlord must provide written notice to the tenant at least 24 hours prior to planned entry into the unit unless an emergency exists. A landlord may only enter between the hours of 7 a.m. and 7 p.m., Monday through Saturday, or as agreed by the tenant. So just wanted to point out there will be rules set by statute of when you can enter the property as a landlord and notice that you have to give. So that was one of them. The next one is about pet policy disclosure. So landlords must now provide the property's pet policy on the property's website as part of an application form for the rental unit on the property. So you do have to disclose what your pet policy is on your website, of course, if you have a website as a landlord. But I would say that would carry over, providing pet policy is a good idea, so that you don't get accused of, having a different policy for different people, obviously. And then the third one is Maryland Tenant Mold Protection Act. And I'm sorry, that one actually was effective July 1st. So that out of the other two are effective October 1st. This one, the Maryland Tenant Mold Protection Act, is effective July 1st. And it states, this requires a landlord to provide the informational pamphlet on mold to each tenant at the time the lease is signed and at the tenant's request. Perform a mold assessment within 15 days after notice, after the tenant gives the landlord notice, and remediate the mold within 45 days after the assessment is completed, if possible. So some specific things in Maryland statute now of how a landlord must handle when there is the question of mold, when a tenant comes to them and says, I think there's mold in a property. So hope that's helpful just to pull those out of what happened in this year's legislative session, and have a great week. Bye.